Mutualism is an interaction between two species that benefit both. Individuals that interact with each other experience a higher rate of survival than those that do not. Misbehaving in a mutualistic relationship is an advantage to the individual, and it does not require any concern for the well-being of the partner. Mutualistic relationships are thought to lie in the root of the phenomenon, as the device is the origin of eukaryotic cells, the diversification of flower plants, and the pattern of elevated species diversity in tropical forests. Here are a couple examples of mutualism. Example 1. This is a ruby-throated hummingbird pollinating a red tubular flower of a trumpet creeper vine. In this example, mutualism occurs because the hummingbird is drawn to the flower since the other species cannot reach the flower's nectar due to the shape. The hummingbird has a beak long enough to reach the nectar, getting the food it needs. In turn, the bird carries the pollen from flower to flower, helping to facilitate a sexual reproduction. Example 2. Here is a yucca moth pollinates a yucca flower. In this case, the plant and the moth obligate mutualistic. The plant has no other pollinator and the insect has no other food source, and thus completely dependent on one another. Example 3. Rhizobium bacteria induce the formation of a nodule on the roots of the legumes, which provide a hospitable environment for the microorganism. In return, the rhizobium fixes nitrogen in a chemical form that is useful to the plant. So we all know termites eat a lot of wood. I mean a lot of wood. But termites cannot digest cellulose, which is a major component of wood by itself. But termites have a special trick. In their guts are stuffed with protists that digest the ingested wood particles, converting the cellulose of the wood into sugars and other products that are taken up through the termite's gut and used for nourishment. In other words, this is a case of mutualism between the termite and the gut's protists. The protists get a safe home in the termite's gut and a continual supply of ingested wood. The termite is unable to digest the cellulose by itself, so it uses the protists in the gut to do so. Both partners benefit from the symbiotic association that is a direct definition of what mutualism is. Procedure 1. Place the termite next to a glass slide and remove the head with the scalpel. Use the tweezer to place the body on the glass slide. Procedure 2. Put the few drops of saline solution on the body of the termite and use a scalpel to pull apart the guts of the termite. This is done in order to freeze the protozoa living inside the termite's gut, known as Tryphonympha. Procedure 3. Place the glass slide under the microscope in order to see the Tryphonympha that lives inside the termite. Notice how it looks and moves around. To understand the importance of this relationship and the major role it has played in the life on its Earth, we have to take a step back. Life began to boom on this planet, and the photosynthesis process was surging, turning sunlight, carbon, and water into oxygen and glucose. With an inadequate amount of respiration, carbon was being buried under land, and nothing was being cycled back into the system. As mentioned earlier, the microbes that broke down the dead trees are aerobic, and could not recycle the carbon back into the atmosphere. Therefore, tons of carbon was being taken out of the Earth's system. As indicated by this graph, as more oxygen was pumped into the Earth through the photosynthesis, the less carbon was around to facilitate the photosynthesis process. There was no respiration to return the carbon to the cycle. And without photosynthesis, life on Earth as we know it would not exist at all. However, as the Gaia hypothesized, Earth can be seen as one organism that regulates itself. It is a complex system with organic and inorganic organisms that seek to maintain conditions for life on Earth. Thus, the relationship between the termite and the protist in the gut formed to regulate the Earth system, adding the first large-scale respiration to the mix, recycling the carbon, and enabling life on Earth to continue to flourish. Without the community of this microorganism living in the termite's gut, life on Earth may not exist as we know it.